Welcome to another episode of Publics and Publishing. Today we explore how religion has been radically altered by the changes in the different forms of publishing technologies. The effects of the printing press and the internet have played a large role in shaping the lives of billions of people around the world. With the invention of the printing press arose a great sense of urgency as the words of the gods were finally available to everyone through the written form. In many religious traditions in history, access to such texts were restricted to the religious authorities. With Johannes Gutenberg's invention of the printing press around 1452, the influence on the religious order was substantial. Gutenberg had printed many copies of the Bible, and with the improvements in literacy in the general population, the public became able to have physical access to these religious texts. Elizabeth Eisenstein, in her book, The Printing Press as an Agent of Change, states that the printed revolutionizes all forms of learning. With the Bible and other religious texts made accessible, the public were able to develop their own interpretations of their religions, and hence there were splits in the religious groups. The printing press was a major factor behind the division of the multiple denominations in Christianity after the 16th century Reformation. Also, the split between the Sunni and Shia schools of Islam occurred as a result of the development of individual theology, aided by access to the religious texts, and hence the power of traditional religious authorities was worn down. The collective power held by the church or the religious leadership bloc would be challenged as a result of the printing press, allowing the public to engage with their gods in a more personal level, with individualistic understandings of their religions. Arising from this new technology was the ability of secular literature to be printed, further challenging the traditional authority of the religious collectives. There was also much progress to be made in science as well as in schools of secular thought, which were all able to be published with the use of the printing press. As a result of the printing press and its subsequent impacts on society and religion, the Christian and religious heritages of many places around the world, but in particular with Europe, began to weaken. Moving forward into the 21st century, we have the internet and the World Wide Web as a popular tool and platform for publishing, which has become an essential part of everyday modern life. This new publishing platform carries the important ability to bridge the separation between religion and technology, particularly as the internet is capable of the mass distribution of data. The internet has been able to transcend physical barriers, and through the convergence of networked publics, people around the world at any one time can gain access to information. For Christians, many Bible verses are often a click or a tap of a button away, and scripture passages can now be located without knowing its full references. The uptake of the internet has also enabled mobile places of worship and facilitated the growth of remote mega-church congregations, which completely rely on video conferencing communication technology to receive a live feed for their Sunday service. Also, the accessibility of sermons and church hymns on the internet has affected the way in which church members engage with their religious content, as it provides a practical alternative to participating in church whenever and wherever they wish. Author of public affairs books Paul Osnos has said that publishing makes reading almost like an obstacle. The internet represents a great shift of power just as the printing press weakened the power of the church. With the widespread use and accessibility of the internet, people that are not in church ministerial or religious leadership teams can now have a say. The once traditional teacher-student model of religion, where a religious person looks up to that of a religious elder to learn their beliefs, can now be replaced with most of the information being accessible online. There's also been increased criticism of religious texts on the internet, which has potential to damage the reputation of the religion. All religions are now brought into closer contact with each other through communications technology online, and with such the increased reach and scope of the internet, many diverse and often heretical and secular beliefs have been able to grow in prominence. Social media scholar Dana Boyd suggests that these new networked media has connected everyone together. For other religions such as Islam, the internet allows a Muslim to experience their religious homelands and Mecca without being physically present. The internet as a publication tool and platform is able to allow for the communication of rich imagery and dialogue, which can complement and in some cases replace the need to be physically present or have physical access to information. Also, the Muslim call to prayer can be easily played back from the internet, and the ability for the mass distribution of content, such as through blogs and YouTube, has a big influence on the spread of religious messages. The internet, as its role as a network carrier for much online streams, has the ability to bring the words of the gods to life. As digital media creator Kerry Gates puts it, the use of new imagery and dialogue in new platforms of publishing allows a rich dialogue between technology and human expression, permitting us to connect to the religious text with a deeper and more emotional understanding. When new publishing technology comes along religion has often tended to assimilate into the culture that arises from the technology. It understands the distribution and the impact that the new technologies offer. Despite time and new publishing technology, the one thing that has remained constant is the importance of the religious words, whether it be on the internet or in physical written form. As a matter of fact, people would tend to seek the most practical way to access any publishable form of the religion and its texts now and into the future.